Hello everyone and welcome to the 9th episode of Fictional Characters Collide. And remember to check out the animator LK64 for this amazing animation. But right now, let's get on to the fight. In this episode, we got the battle of the Deadly Ice Users, the Ice Ninja from Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero versus the Ice Wizard from Fairy Tail, Great Fullbuster. It's your rule the Great Demon, and it's my job to analyze these two characters to their fullest to see who would win. A fictional characters collide. Somewhere in the northernmost parts of Asia, there exists a secret clan of assassins and thieves known as the Lin Kuei. This group has existed for centuries and thrives on the evil intentions of the people who pay for their services. Its warriors are chosen at birth to be raised a part of the workings of day civilization and are stripped of their former lives. Only the clan knows their existence. Each of them possesses certain skills and abilities that set them apart from normal men. These abilities are passed down to generation, and honed throughout the experience of life. Born in America, Sub-Zero was the oldest of 3 children, which included a brother and sister. Their mother wanted a normal life for her son, who had already been chosen by the Lin Kuei to become warriors for their clan. She tried in vain to hide them from their father, whose own life in America was only a cover for his true identity and purpose. Eventually they were found and their father returned with them to his homeland. Their mother and sister were never seen or heard of again. Sub-Zero learned of his abilities as a young adult and was passed on him by his father, a 4th generation Lin Kuei warrior himself. The ability to harness the element of cold is one that takes years of practice. It's full of potential realized by those who have mastered it at the latest stage of life. Sub-Zero's skill has the ability to develop much faster than those of the other Lin Kuei. This was realized by Lin Kuei's Grandmaster, who picked the young warrior to take his deceased father place as the next Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is one of the main characters in the Mortal Kombat series, and actually one of the most loved and most iconic characters as well. Leader of the Lin Kuei and sole enemy to Scorpion. When we talk about this guy, he has incredible durability. He can survive being ripped, being stabbed, being burned, being torn apart. He even fought battles with gods as well. But we can't talk about Sub-Zero with this kind of stuff. Let's mostly talk about his arsenal, his ice move attacks like the ice ball, the ice clone, and the ice slide. His ice ball lets him freeze his opponents even when they're in the air or in the ground. Yes, people. He can freeze people in the air and make them stay there. He can defy physics with just an ice ball. His ice clone lets him summon a clone of himself anywhere, and when it gets automatically touched, it freezes the person touching it. His ice slide helps him go from one area to the next. And he also has some really handful weapons made of ice as well. He has his ice sword, where you can conjure up out of nothing and actually stab and slice his opponents with ease with it. He has his ice hammer he can summon anytime he wants and actually crush his opponents with. He can literally rip the organs out of his opponents with his X-ray and makes it into an icicle-like spear as well. But these are the things that people really want to talk about. We really want to get to his fatalities. When we talk about his fatalities, he has a buttload of it ever since the year 1991. Starting with the Bihan's Spine Rip, the Kun Lao's Ice Shatter, the Kuao Long's Snowball Grenade, the Kun Lao's Frosty, the Kun Lao's Overhead Ice Smash, the Bihan's Spine Rip, and it has to be in complete darkness because he won't show that, the Bihan's Ice Stalagmite, the Bihan's Spine Rips again, the Kun Lao's Skeleton Rip, Kun Lang's Freeze and Throw, the Kun Lao's Below Freezing, Kun Lao's Spine Rip again. Man, I got this whole list of fights from every game. He has a lot of repeating ones. Kun Lao's Creative Fatality, the Kun Lao's Freeze Kick, the Kun Lao's Freeze Slam, the Cyborg Kun Lao's Cold Fusion, the Cyborg Kun Lao's Brain Freeze, the Bihan Kun Lao's Have an Ice Day, and the Bihan Spinal Smash. The Bihan Spine Rip again, the Kun Lao Bed of Ice, the Kunlun chess code, and much more. But when we want to talk, and he has done multiple things in the past. He has survived fights with Scorpion, the Hell Spawn himself. He has survived being that fifth of hell where he mostly has a disadvantage in. He fought the god Shinnok, and also he can rip people with ease, but only if he tires them out. He's also the leader of the Lin Kueis himself after he took it from Sector, has fought off the rebellions of the Lin Kueis who tried to turn them all into cyborgs, but until, Raiden went back in time and actually lets them get caught and turn into what everyone hates, into cyborgs, Sub-Zero, what everyone really don't like. I really don't like that version of him. He can really take over his opponents back with most of his ice-based moves. And also, he's an expert in ninjutsu and actual fighter in close combat fighting. But he does have his weaknesses. He can be easily as ripped apart as well. Even though he's the enemy to Scorpion, he never defeated him. He always gets his ass owned by Scorpion. And he never fought anyone with his type of ability, so if he fights anyone with ice-based attacks, he is mostly useless. Well, all in all, Sub-Zero is an amazing ice Chiromancer ninja who has survived the pits of hell, survived fights with gods, and even other beings like him. But he does rely on being the first person to attack, and if he gets tired out, he can be easily ripped apart with ease. From one ice user to another, let's go up with Gray, Fullbuster. Gray was from a village up in the north, but the entire village was once destroyed by the demon Delora. Gray's parents were killed in the incident, but not actually true. His father was still alive. He was Silver Fullbuster. Lion, along with Ur, a powerful ice mage who Jalal claimed to have been one of the 10 wizard saints, came investigating Delora's destruction and found Gray alive among the ruins. Ur took Gray in as her second student and taught him and Lion ice make magic. Gray accepted the training in order to eventually avenge his deceased parents by killing Delora and using Ur's unorthodox methods. But now, Gray is actually one of the most main characters in the fairy tale universe. But now let's talk about Gray, and let's talk more about his magic and the Devil Slayer powers. Gray takes the ice make magic, where he can actually manipulate ice from anywhere. He has a large arsenal of magic. Mostly the first one he ever learned was the ice make lances, where you can summon heat-seeking missiles of ice-made weapons at his opponents to overpower them. The ice make blocks let him summon a giant block of ice to actually deflect attacks and other things. The ice make shield is made to actually defend anyone from an attack or a blast radius or even fire as well. The Ice Make Hammer lets him summon a gigantic hammer to let him summon anything, to let him attack anyone with ease. The Ice Make Floor lets him turn the floor into ice. The Ice Make Arrows lets him summon a bow and arrow to forcefully attack anyone at once. The Ice Make Super Freeze Arrows is a more powerful version of the Ice Make Arrows. The Ice Make Battle Axe lets him summon an axe made of ice. The Ice Make Sword is just an Ice Make Sword. The Ice Make Geyser is a really hard thing I can't really talk about. The Ice Make Cannon is one of his most powerful weapons in the Ice Make category he has. He has the Ice Make Prison, where he actually lets him summon an indestructible Ice Make Cage to trap his opponents in. The Ice Make Clones let him actually summon a doppelganger of himself in any kind of form as a clone to take his place. The Ice Make Fire lets him summon a fireworks or explosion made of ice into the era. He has the Ice Make Stairs, and it's really handy if you think about it. The Ice Make Slide, the Ice Make Rampart, the Ice Make Grappling Hook, the Ice Make Death Scythe, the Ice Make Keys, the Ice Make Gunger, the Ice Make Knuckles, lets him use multiple fists at once made out of ice. The Ice Make Saucer is like a giant frisbee made of ice. The Ice Make Fishnet lets him capture his opponents. The Ice Make Ice Wall. His Ice Blade 7 slice stance can do the actual attacking at 7 times. The Ice Make Cocoon is like a full fortress right around him. The Ice Make Cold Excalibur is a more stronger version of any kind of ice sword. The Ice Make Icebringer, the Ice Make Kite is like a flying projectile. The Ice Make Ocean, the Ice Make Hammer again, the Ice Make Freezer Lance, the Ice Make Big Impact, the Ice Make Crescent Blades, Ice Make Unlimited One-Sided Chaotic Dance, the Ice Make Platform, the Ice Make Cannon, and the Ice Make Silver. All these moves that he learned all in the anime, and what a load of abilities. But all these can be failed in comparison against his Devil Slayer powers, where he awoke him against his father, Silver Fullbuster, who did die in the Dolores destruction path. These powers let him actually control air and other people's ice. He can manipulate, like even a twister, forming it into actual ice. And the greatest thing about the Devil Slayer powers, he won't be he's immune to ice. Meaning he can't be frozen, he can't be stopped in time by isolated magic. Anything that's ice that can hurt him like that, he's immune to, but physical ice related attacks can actually hurt him. Now let's talk a bit more about his feats and weaknesses. Gray has survived life-threatening fights, survived fighting with his father, who actually learned the whole Devil Slayer powers before him, and still defeated him, even knowing that. Also, one more thing, think about this. He also survived Natsu's fire, his own dragon-made fire from his dragon lungs. But there's a few things bad about Gray. He's a bit cocky, he is bad in close combat, and he really relies on his ice magic a lot. But all in all, Gray is an amazing ice magician. Ice wizard, not ice magician. Who has survived fights with many people, survived fights with other ice wizards, and even survived the fire of Natsu's dragon fire. But is he strong enough to survive a fight with Gray, Fullbuster? No, survive a fight with Sub-Zero. Okay, the combatants are set. Now let's settle this fight. It's time for fictional characters collide.
Prepare to be shattered.
Okay, what an amazing episode, and remember to check out the animator LK64 for that amazing animation again. But now let's explain why Gray wins this fight. It's mostly a big win for Gray. The only thing that Sub-Zero had over Gray was in combat skills and strength in close combat. But with everything else, Gray beats him, and he beats him in magic. Let's start off with the magic first. They both have similar ice-based magic, but Gray's is actually shown to be more powerful, and Sub-Zero just uses regular ice, the ice that Gray can use to make himself stronger. And Gray actually has some more better ice abilities too, like the Ice Make Lance. Sub-Zero doesn't have anything like that to actually come at Gray, because Gray will just keep Sub-Zero away, because he will find out that Sub-Zero is better in close combat, so he will just keep throwing out ice-based moves to keep him away. And his Ice Cage is practically indestructible. And with the Devil Slayer powers, he's actually more powerful as well. He's immune to the ice-based moves, mostly because he can't be frozen by Sub-Zero's ice. And with the ice clones, that's pretty much useless as well. The only thing ice related Sub-Zero can do to Gray is with ice weapons. But like I said, Gray is going to keep him far away from him before doing that. Next is durability. Gray has survived a lot more light-threatening fights as well. Just as Sub-Zero has survived fights with Scorpion and Shinnok, but Gray, he survived more like deadly fights with higher ranking wizards, and Sub-Zero can be ripped apart with ease when he gets tired, just like with any other character. Don't say he can rip people apart with ease anytime he wants, because that's not actually true. He has to tire out his opponent first before actually rip him apart, and if Sub-Zero gets tired out, he'll be just as the same. He'll be easy to tear apart. Just how Gray tired out Sub-Zero in this fight. And also the Ice Mate Cannon. The Ice Mate Cannon is a powerful weapon. It is shown to actually go through a mountain in one of his previous fights. The first time he showed it, he blasted that thing right through a cannon and made a gigantic hole. With doing that, he needed over 1,872 PSI to go right through that mountain. That would be too strong for Sub-Zero to actually go through. And also with speed, Sub-Zero isn't known for speed. Most of the thing he relies on is his Ice Slide. But Gray has shown to catch up to people like Urza, Natsu, and other people as well. And with this, Sub-Zero's arsenal would just get like runned out. He won't have much to do against Gray instead of just getting close to him. While Gray has a lot more choices to actually kill Sub-Zero in. So in this fight, we have to give this win to Gray Fullbuster. And remember to check out the animator again once more, because he's amazing, man. Hope to have him again on my series. But right now, it's time for the next fight. Next time on Fictional Characters Collide.